Hello, my friends. Today I'd like to show you how to paint these beautiful ginkgo leaves with a color and with gold kind of pen to do the lines. It's a very easy kind of painting. I would say like a beginner piece. I've seen lots of these ginkgo leaves in posters online on Pinterest and Instagram, so I wanted to show you how you could make your own if you'd like to. This one was done in green. Today I'm going to do one with blues, just to do something a little bit different. So what we're going to need today is we're going to need maybe a size 6 brush, or you can use something a little bit bigger if you like. This is a Princeton snap brush. We're going to be using these gold Sakura Jelly Roll pens. We just need one, but I bought like a 6-pack. So, and as you can see, I have very little ink left in a lot of these. I'm gonna have to buy another one, another set. Some water and whatever paint you like. So today I'm going to be using Daniel Smith paints, and I'm going to be combining some blues to make something that I like. So the first step is to draw in pencil generally where your ginkgo leaves are going to be. You're going to be covering up all these pen lines with the gold ink, so don't worry about making it too heavy. You're going to be covering it up. And overlapping leaves is really nice. You can do whatever composition you like. This is the one that I liked. It has quite a few overlapping ones. Some of the colored ones are in the middle, and then some of the gold ones are around the edge. But all of the ginkgo leaves will end up having these gold pen lines on top of them. So the first step is to paint our colored ones. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to mix up some paint. So let me see. I'm going to get a little bit of, I think I'm doing like a turquoise kind of, oh no, this one is the indigo. So let's add a little bit of this. Okay. So it might end up being a little bit more green than blue today, but that's okay. All right, so let's see what that looks like. So let's start with this one here because we want to let it dry before we kind of add the next one so they don't blend into each other too much. And if you do it very saturated, like a deep color, the gold will look really nice on top of it. You don't need very expensive paper for this. So this one I actually did on the Canson watercolor paper, which is not a pure cotton paper. And this one is also not a cotton paper. So you don't need, for example, the Arches cotton watercolor paper for this particular style because we're not doing a lot of layering. We're not doing a lot of blending. We're just doing one pretty solid color and then putting that pen ink. And the gold pen really does work well on a very smooth paper. It just flows a little bit better. So there, we're just making it a nice deep color and filling in what we drew. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Now we're going to do this one up here. This would look nice in red and gold, maybe like a Christmassy kind of themed. The green works really well. Anything that contrasts well with gold. It might even be interesting in gray. I haven't tried it in gray, but gray and gold is a beautiful combination. You could also make this quite a bit bigger if you like. This one here is a 8 by 8 inch piece of paper. So it's really just coloring in the lines. I mean, it's not a difficult technique, which is nice. Okay, but I do like the color. I think it's looking nice. I think I have to mix a little bit more. I'll put a list of my colors down below, but I'm really just using 2 colors, indigo and I think it's a phthalo green to kind of combine here. Just want to make this a little bit darker. Okay. I should just let that dry and see what it looks like. All right, so now we can do this one over here. ginkgo leaves are so nice, and the curvier you make and like the more irregular you make the edge of the shape, the better it is. It just looks more organic that way. So you're not going to go wrong, you know, like if you can try to copy exactly what I've shown you here, but you can also make your own grouping of leaves. And the more scraggly they are, the better, to be honest. It just gives it more interest, really. Okay, this is turning out to be more green, but that's fine, I really like it. All right, let's paint. We only have 2 more to do. So let's do the one back here. If you enjoy these sort of easier tutorials, please let me know in the comments down below. I'll try to do a few more like this. If you like the gold pen highlights, let me know too. I will do more like that. I can also do a review of some of the gold pens I've tried, because I've tried a few different ones and I do definitely have some favorites. Okay, it's okay that they overlap here because we're gonna differentiate them with the gold line when we get into that part. So there we go. Okay, and we have one more down here. It's behind the other one. And then the biggest thing we need to do is just wait for it to dry, or you can use a hair dryer to speed up the process. And then we can do all of the outlines in our gold pen, which is a lot of fun as well and not very difficult. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight lines. Okay. So I think that's it for the color, just getting the edges, but we can straighten that up too with the gold. Okay, that's looking nice. All right, so we're gonna wait for this to dry and then we're gonna come back in with our gold pen. Okay, now that it's all dry, we can go in and trace everything with our gold pen. So I'm just slowly outlining in gold, and you can do it a couple of times if you like it a little bit thicker, but do it once, see how it looks, and then after we add in our interior lines, you might want to go and trace it again. And then decide which one is kind of on top. So for this one, I've decided that this leaf is going to be on top of this one. So I'm going to be drawing the outline on top. And then tracing it down, covering up any pencil marks that you see or any rough edges that you just want to clean up. That's the nice thing about gold pen. I actually really like tracing a lot of botanical kind of flowers and leaves in gold pen, because if it's a little messy, like I don't know if you can see here, I'm going to bring it a little bit closer. We'll see. It's a little bit rough on the edge here. It's not very clean, but if we put the gold pen along it, it just cleans it right up. So it's nice, especially for beginners, which I still consider myself a beginner. I started about a year and a half ago, and I'm still learning a lot. I think as artists, you always learn, continuously learn, really. But there are some tricks like this that I enjoy and just want to pass on to others. So here we're just going to meet this up. Okay, and then maybe I'll show you the lines for one of them and then speed up the video because it's very much the same. And so take your time doing it, especially if it's your first time. Pause the video and then take your time doing it. Okay, So now we've outlined, oh, I forgot to outline this one here. Okay, there we go. And this little stem that goes down here. Okay. So now I've outlined two of them, so I'm going to show you how we do the interior lines to this one. I like to start from the middle and work my way out and give it a bit of a curvature. It doesn't have to be like straight lines. So, but usually I like to connect that, you know, there's that middle little piece. So I like, and give it a bit of a curve as well, because that, it doesn't have to be super straight. It gives the feel of as if the leaf is bending kind of away from you, right? So then we're just going to do thin parallel lines. I'll try to show you this one a little bit of a close-up. So thin little lines, not parallel, sorry, they're stemming out from a point. And you can make them as thin or thick as you like. And just work your way slowly out. Like this. See, I'm giving it a bit of a curve now. Like that. You can move the paper around too if a different angle is better for you. I'll move my hand here. Let's see if that works. Okay. So there, I've made the lines over here, and you can make them a little bit thinner. For this one, it looks like I made them a little bit thinner, closer together, I mean. And I'll start curving it out a little bit. See, the richer the background color is, the nicer the contrast is with the gold that you lay on top. Okay, so there's one. You can always go in and fix little things. So I'll show you it a little bit closer up. So there's one of them done. And now we're just going to do the same thing to the rest of these, outlining our colored ones, and then also outlining the pencil ones. It's very much the same, it's just we don't have any paint behind these. And you could make them another paint if you liked. But for this one, I'm just doing kind of the white background with the gold and the colored kind of, not sure what to call this color. It's a deep green, really. This one's more of a jade green. This is more of a turquoise deep green, but I really like it. So I'm going to do the rest of this on a little bit faster speed, and I'll come back at the end. I hope you enjoyed this short tutorial on how to paint ginkgo leaves in blues or greens and gold pen highlights. Here's just a close-up so you can see some of the shininess of the gold, which is really quite pretty and sometimes doesn't come through in pictures. And here's one that I had done previously as a reference photo in greens and gold, and this one is more blues and golds. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you do create your own, please tag me on Instagram so I can take a look. I would love to see it. Please consider subscribing and liking this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.